Hey everybody, welcome back. We're gonna do one last update on the um, Ecto-1. I will be doing one more video. This is just an update before I put the rest of the stuff on. I already have everything ready to go, but I wanted to get a couple shots of what I did on the inside here versus kind of what Lego has you do. Big differences, of course, because Lego has you doing the Afterlife Ecto-1, and I decided to go with the first original movie Ecto-1 version. So we'll just kind of go over some of the details before I put the top on, and then you really can't see that stuff anymore. Um, so of course, in the instructions here, you guys can see big differences with the gunner seat. They do have another seat back here. Looks like they might have a third chair there, and then some of the finer details and cabinets and components and stuff in the back there. I haven't seen this movie yet, so I'm guessing some of this is per prototype of the movie and not just there for looks. But yeah, you guys can kind of see. One thing I really tried doing on this was giving it a cleaner look. A little hard in some areas, like with these panels here. It's kind of, they look a little bit too big and bulky if you tile over those. So not too much I can do about that, but other places I took liberty of really hiding studs with tiles and such. So first things first, we'll kind of look at what I did here. Face the car around here. We'll open up the back door. One big difference is you guys can kind of see how, there's only 6 visible studs on the door, and some of this random stuff that I don't care much for. So on my door, we kind of kept it really clean with some 1x1 bricks and then tiles to hide some of that stuff. The back side, I feel like it did pretty good. We do have some of the original electrical components back there. You guys can kind of see this gurney way that I've created in the back here. Eventually I will be building the gurney for this in some packs, and I kind of gave a nice place for the gurney to slide in here and actually come to a stop before intruding on kind of this pass-through area here, and did my best to tile over as much as possible on both sides to try to hide a lot of the studs. Feel like it came out pretty cool. Might not be 100% per the original movie, but I think it looks pretty cool and it'll work for what I need. And of course, with the addition of the 2 back doors, this one opening the correct direction and this one opening period in the correct direction, they have kind of their own hinge system there that allows them to open really good. And then you guys can see I've added some detail on the back of this panel. Just something else to give a reason for this door to open, plus a nice pass-through area here. So just kind of some additional details that I threw on there. The doors are a little hard to get closed because they have to be in those hinges have to move a certain way, and it is kind of hard to do with one hand, but there we go. And then you guys can see up front, not too much difference from the last time, other than having a windshield in there now. The dash is in. You guys didn't get to see that before. Some nice detail on the dash. Like I said, took my time to put some tiles down here to hide some of those studs, make everything look really nice and clean. I was really happy with how the tail lights and the fins are. Really neat design, really has that Cadillac feel to it. Kind of another shot down where the gurney's going to slide into. Plenty of room for it too. Really cool techniques that they used on those tail lights. The Mach only did a couple changes off of what they have you do. And then this side with the other back door that opens, going to 2 seats. And then you guys can kind of see some of the detail on the front of that panel. And then just used a bunch of these graded tiles to kind of create a industrial floor kind of look in the upper area there, where people aren't sitting, where you're going to be sliding equipment around and doing that kind of stuff. So figured using some of those would look a little cool. And then on the driver's side here, or the passenger side, got that nice look where I used those textured ramp pieces to kind of build up where the firewall goes, tied all that in, so that looks really nice and clean in there. The car rolls along really nicely. I can already use this. The hand of God steering, you guys can see the steering wheel works with that in there. And then, like I showed before, the engine compartment did a lot of work in that. I did have to make one modification to the top of my air filter here. Wasn't able to use the other piece that I really wanted to use, so I just kind of had to put in a circular tile in that, but it still looks pretty cool. I really like how the engine came out. Oop, and the hood's self-closing. Yeah, the engine took my time, really made sure I colored stuff nicely. Took a lot of extra time with the engine itself, and I think that just looks really fantastic in there. Really nice detail. Adds a lot to the car itself, not just the fact that it's an Ecto-1, but the fact that it was a driving car, working real vehicle. So the engine detail is just as important, even though it's not seen that much, but pretty cool once I got the hood done to really get the feel for these fenders and everything. I mean, the whole car was really cool. Now, what I'll show you guys is I also put a lot of time into the roof and the equipment rack on top. And we'll kind of roll this out of the way, slide this over, and we'll do some side-by-side comparisons with the instructions here. So one thing is the instructions kind of have you build this on the car, because there is like more pieces up in this area that we don't have on this one. The mod kind of makes it to where the roof is easily removable. So the roof of that is actually kind of half built on the car, half built by itself, but we'll kind of get to the finished product here. See if I want to get a shot of the whole roof all together done. So I can get to that point. Well, we can show you on some of this. So we'll kind of move around to the back of this. So you guys can kind of see in here, there's some colors that you can still see even once the gears are in place. Some studs. Around here you guys can see some studs, especially around in this area. Up in here, down in here, underneath this component. And then of course with the lights, I took a lot of time and care into trying to recolor some things, hide some studs. One of the biggest thing was on these light bars. tiling those off with matching colored blue 1x4 tiles and then a gray 2x2 square. Did that on both of them to kind of give those a nice slicker look. Makes them slightly taller, which that's okay because those are pretty tall light bars. Yeah, down in the gear area here, yeah, you guys can see you don't see any studs at all. It's all nice and tiled over. Even went with a black Technic pin for where the pipes are going to hook into so you don't have that blue Technic pin shining through. Tiled a lot of stuff around some of the various components up here. Put some little grate tiles down in there just to kind of hide the studs underneath that. Couldn't hide them all, but got the better part of them, so I'm pretty happy with that. Around where your Hand of God steering comes in, got that tiled around pretty decent, so that looks really good. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it came out versus like kind of what it looks like done. A lot cleaner look. I mean, you guys can see the fact that you can see this blue plate underneath here. A lot of the studs that you see across the top and everything. And you know, of course, the ladder is going to be on the other side of the car now. It's actually going to be on the passenger side, which is how it was in the original movie. And then, yeah, you guys can kind of see the finished product of the light bars versus how mine look with the tiles on top. I think it's a lot nicer, a lot cleaner look. There you guys can kind of get a feel for like how everything was before and then how everything will be now. You guys can see we have the ladder mounts on the correct side of this. That was all part of the design, so I didn't have to go back and change anything. And then this will still be a work in progress, the ghost catcher. I just kind of have it plainly built right now. There's a mock for this that I'm going to work on. So that's still a work in progress. I got to find the instructions for that stuff. Excuse me. But I think the top of mine looks a lot nicer, a lot cleaner, with hiding a lot of those studs. It's a really easy to do. If you have a lot of parts, the only thing that might be kind of hard is if you don't have these blue ones. I just so happen to have just enough of those, so that worked out in my favor. But yeah, it's pretty cool, guys. So that's going to be it for this video. Just kind of a show off of what I have going on before the car goes all together, and then we'll do just a short video of how the car looks with the rest of the parts on it and everything. So hope you guys enjoyed this update, and until next time, take care.